Lesson 45 is about dividing a decimal number by a whole number. Now the first question we have is to divide, and we have 4.2, and we're going to divide it by 3. We do these problems just as if we were working with whole numbers. So we're going to set up the 4.2, that's our dividend, it's in the box. And we're going to divide it by 3. Now, when we're dividing a decimal number by a whole number, all we have to do is move that decimal point straight up. We can do that first. We know 3 goes into 4 one time. We get 3 with 1 left over, and we bring down our 2 to get 12. 3 goes into 12 4 times. We've got 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. We have nothing left over. We've got our answer. Our answer is 1 4/10, or 1.4. All we have to do to divide a decimal number by a whole number is move that decimal point straight up and then divide exactly as we already know how. Let's look at a next example. Here we're going to divide 0.24 divided by 3. Decimal point's going to come straight up because we're dividing a decimal number by a whole number. 3 goes into 0, 0 times. 3 goes into 2, 0 times. 3 goes into 24, 8 times, because 3 times 8 is 24. So we've got 24. We subtract, we have nothing left over, we've got our quotient. That problem gives us an answer of 0.08, or 8 hundredths, when we say 24 hundredths divided by 3. The key here is to move that decimal point straight up, because we're dividing a decimal number by a whole number. Let's look at another example. Here we have 0.6 divided by 5. We know our first step is to move that decimal point straight up when we're dividing a decimal number by a whole number. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. 5 goes into 6, 1 time. We get 5 because 1 times 5 is 5. And we subtract. Well, we've got 1 left over. Now when this happens, we need to add a 0 after the 0.6 because 0.60 is the same as 0.6. So we bring our 0 down. Now 5 goes into 10, 2 times. And we get 10 with 0 left over. And we've got our answer because we have nothing left over. We've got 12 hundredths, or 0.12. Key here again, bring the decimal straight up. And in this problem, we had to add a 0 after the 0.6 in order to get it so we had no remainder, or nothing left over in the end. Our quotient is 12 hundredths, and we're all done with this example. Lesson practice will be on page 239. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.